Many people have the luxury of living their lives without having to worry about famine or war breaking out in other countries. This is the case here in America with many of us, not knowing a life of destruction or death. All these rights and privileges are given to us citizens from birth, and we should give our respect to those who fought for these liberties with their lives. People don't realize that freedom comes at a great cost, which fallen soldiers and veterans have paid dearly. Their sacrifices should be rewarded with a warm welcome once they return home, but often it is not. This issue now becomes our calling to help them give back some of what they lost. My purpose is to persuade you to donate your time and money to Disabled American Veterans or the DAV charity. I'm incredible to speak on this topic as I have done extensive research that made me quite knowledgeable about the goals of the Disabled American Veterans charity. Today I will be informing you about the needs that the charity is trying to fulfill for our veterans. I will also describe solutions to those needs and these veterans, as well as explain what will happen if you choose to donate or not to donate. To start my presentation, I will help you see some of the needs that the DAV is trying to fulfill, starting with transportation. According to Elizabeth and others, several factors can restrict veterans from driving in non-combat situations. This includes PTSD, physical immobility, lack of financial resources, etc. All these factors affect veterans every day. For many, driving can bring back memories of war and cause risk behaviors, endangering themselves and other people surrounding them. Traveling is often unsafe for veterans who suffer from certain disabilities and experiences that prevent them from performing everyday tasks that civilians do without a thought. According to Tom Burkbach, the DAV Transportation Coordinator, I didn't serve, but I always wanted a way to recognize the sacrifices of the veterans who did. I feel like I get more from my interactions with them than they benefit from my time. I've built relationships with veterans, and I look forward to seeing them when they need me. It's rewarding, and I can tell it's a meaningful contribution that I make. The DAV Transportation Network gives me a tangible connection to the veteran community. My transportation is a major part of helping disabled veterans. There are other aspects that require more attention and care that advocates can help with. According to Civilia, the need for veterans to have advocates is apparent. Many disabled veterans have disabilities that limit their speaking and mobility. Advocates can help make their lives better by assisting them and helping them learn to live with disabilities or work through their issues. An example of this is helping a person cope with their trauma from serving in the military so they can live the best life they can. Advocates are people who listen to the veterans' problems, mental or physical, and address it appropriately and immediately. This kind of help is necessary to the medical and psychological issues of disabled veterans. The special attention and care that the veterans need is not always what they get. The advocates are special people that help address all issues that the veterans have. Veterans learning to cope with their disabilities is a huge part of helping them, but also sending them off to the real world and having real life experiences in society can greatly impact the way they view the world. According to the Empire Zoom, housing in the military is often unsatisfactory. Single men live in the barracks or dorms, sharing a bedroom with up to 4 other active duty military members, or families often get a BAH, a housing allowance, to help pay for rent or mortgage in family homes. The BAH pays anywhere from $74 to $168 for housing for the 2022 rates. Transitioning from this life to civilian life is often difficult due to the poor assistance that the military provides. According to the U.S. Department of Defense, another issue that arises with transitioning to be a civilian is employment. Many veterans haven't had to interview in years and have forgotten how to do one. After years of serving in the military and not having changed jobs unless the desire to do so is there, many veterans are left uneducated about civilian jobs and how to apply to them. This can lead to unemployment, paychecks, and debt occurring. Transportation, advocates, and transitioning to civilian life are all real problems that disabled veterans face. Next, I will tell you how the DAV is taking the necessary steps to help these veterans. By donating to the Disabled American Veterans charity, you will help disabled veterans learn to live with their conditions in everyday life. By making a monetary donation, you'll help veterans pay for their appointments and purchase everyday goods such as housing, transportation, and other vehicles or other household items. By making a bigger donation, such as a house or vehicle, you provide an easier life for those veterans that served our country in protecting us. Also, donating your time in countless ways. Also, donating time helps veterans in countless ways. You can help drive the veterans to and from appointments, jobs, interviews, and more. By donating your time, you can also learn valuable lessons from the veterans. For a plan of action, visit the DAV website at www.dav.org. Click the red Donate Now button on the right side of your screen. Choose the amount you are wishing to donate and type in your information for billing. To become a volunteer driver, click the Become a Volunteer Driver on the home page and then click the Sign Up to Volunteer. Then fill out the information to become a volunteer driver. Let's see what would happen if you choose to donate or not. Imagine you come back from risking your life to serve your country, and you're welcomed back with a society that is divided and wants nothing to do with you. You wonder why you did all this hard work and are now damaged for life. And no one comes to your aid. This is what disabled veterans go through every day. The list for these individuals grow daily, and most people aren't willing to step up and help these kindred souls. Disabled veterans struggle finding jobs due to inexperience in the civilian world, and their disability is already putting them at a disadvantage. This can cause homelessness and depression for most disabled veterans. Disabled veterans also struggle with finding and wanting to accept the help they need. Most of the time, veterans return from deployment with nobody waiting for them, no family to help support them. Many times, other people must help these veterans get the treatment they need, either with money or time. By donating to help these veterans, you will be improving their quality of life. These acts of kindness will change their lives forever. Just talking to a veteran will create a memory that you and the veteran will never forget. By donating, you help veterans get the help they need. They will be improving the quality of their lives forever. This will help them become a helpful and positive citizen of the U.S., changing other people's lives for the better. If you choose to donate, you will be keeping another person off the streets. It is important to remember the points I have discussed and the reason we need to help these veterans. I have presented to you the needs that the Disabled American Veterans Charity is trying to fulfill: transportation, advocates, and a transition from a military life to civilian life, as well as a solution to these needs, and what would happen if you choose not to help. If you take one thing away from my presentation, it is that the Disabled American Veterans Charity is trying to help disabled veterans in every way possible. By donating to this charity, you will be helping countless lives. Think about what I said at the beginning of my presentation. We have a lot to be thankful for and many people to thank. All these privileges come from the price that soldiers and veterans are willing to pay. Anytime you see this cap being worn, know what sacrifice that they are willing to give, and think of how thankful you should be for these people. To give back to these brave people, call 206-341-8267 or visit the DAV website at www.dav.org to donate. Thank you.